Hey everyone, how's it going? Don't know if you can all hear me or not.
I can hear you, mate.
You can hear me. Oh, good. Everyone, welcome to the stream. So yeah, it's one of my first ones doing live. So yeah, bear with me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully it all goes to plan. I'm joined by FPL Matt Day, who does as well fantasy videos, World Cup videos, some really good content, and is a Spurs fan as well. So that's always good. So how you going, Matt?
Yeah, good mate. I'm excited to be on and chat some World Cup fantasy because it's been an interesting game. So yeah, looking forward to chatting about it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mess, really, hasn't it? If we're honest.
It's not been the best game, but it's kind of kept us ticking over until the Premier League comes back on and stuff. But yeah, there's been so many bugs and things, but yes, it feels like there's still quite a lot of people that are playing it, which is good. So, and obviously we are two of them. So
yeah, no, exactly. No, because it has been fun. It's been good to own like Mbappe and Messi because we've never done that with FPL. So that's probably been the most exciting thing for me.
Yeah, it's been good. Like, I reckon owning players from all different nations and countries you wouldn't normally own players from has been really good. And I think just having games every day, other than the knockouts, but having players play every day during the groups was it was pretty cool and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. So so in this video we're just going to be looking back at my recommendations for the best fantasy assets. So I did this. What is it? Probably about a month and a half ago, right before the World Cup started. So we're gonna have a few laughs, I reckon, and see how good I am actually at this game. My rank doesn't say I am, but let's see how well basically I did at predicting.
Right, let's go.
So yeah, we'll start off with Group A. So obviously Qatar, there wasn't really many options, so I kind of just went for the goalkeeper. I guess no players that was that great for Qatar. They scored one goal, conceded in every game. So
Yeah, he was
yeah.
awful, wasn't he? Al Sheeb.
Yeah.
Like he was cheap, but like rubbish. Like I had him as well, and like just because he was cheap, and I think there was either him or the Uruguay keeper, and it was like I went with the wrong player as well. So yeah, Qatar players were just a no go.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll move swiftly on to Ecuador. So I did go for Es- Es- Estupinan for the Brighton wing back. I feel like Valencia was probably the best asset in the end. I think he ended up getting 3 goals, but yeah, I don't think that was the worst choice.
No, he was good because they kept the clean sheet in the first game, and they're actually pretty unlucky not to qualify through. They didn't qualify through in the end, did they? Ecuador.
It ended up being Senegal and
It was Senegal, yeah, and
Netherlands.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good pick actually because I thought they were going to go through, and they obviously won their first game. So yeah, he ended up being quite good in that first game with a clean sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So you're kind of 4.5. You're probably happy with a clean sheet, especially as most people kind of played the wild card early on. So you probably didn't have him for that long anyway. And then moving on to Senegal. So I had one of their defenders, Danilo.
Diallo.
Yeah. Again, I don't think Senegal actually kept a clean sheet. I think didn't they concede against Qatar? Yeah.
I remember the first game they let in a couple of goals, and then
Against the
Qatar.
Netherlands.
I feel like they might have maybe kept a clean sheet in that Qatar one, but I can't remember. I can't remember now. I didn't have any Senegal defenders, but yeah, for 4 million, like it was probably worth a go. But yeah, tricky one. You had a few players in this group that you recommended.
So I kind of just went through each team and recommended one player. So I was kind of.
Yeah, okay. So I thought all of these were in your team.
No, I was kind of just went through and see what assets we could go for each.
He was probably a good pick then from Senegal, I reckon. Like, like he probably wasn't the worst pick. I think they obviously got to the knockouts anyway, so you got quite a few games out of him if for those that did pick him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they did end up conceding against Qatar. So
they did.
Not great, yeah.
All right, I take that back.
Yeah. And then Netherlands, Bergwijn, probably the biggest disappointment in terms of fancy asset for me. I actually had him, I think, every group stage game. 7 million. We thought he was going to play up front, and I think he ended up getting dropped one of the games. I'm pretty sure. Didn't really do much.
No, he picked up an injury, I think, and got dropped, and then he apparently had a knock, and I think he got 1 assist because I had him as well, and I think he got 1 assist, which was in the first game, and then after that he was just really disappointing because I think everyone looked at it and thought he does so well for the Dutch national team that he'd come out, play central because Depay was out for the first couple of games, and then he actually I think he got 1 assist, and he was actually really disappointing, but. You're not the only one that recommended him. I think a lot of people were sort of recommending him and expecting big things. And then it was the forward Gakpo that ended up doing quite well. And even De Jong and Klaassen were quite good. But yeah, Bergwijn was a huge letdown.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, I feel like I should have known better as well. That's the thing. Like having watched him kind of week in, week out.
Yeah.
But obviously not. But obviously, Dumfries ended up being a good choice for that one haul. But I had him every match day apart from that match day, so no good for me.
Yeah, Dumfries was unreal, especially in the because he got 2 clean sheets at the start, and then it was that knockout game where he got 14 points. yeah, where I thought he was he was brilliant. But he's really good. He was really good for Euro fantasy last year, and he's really good in Champions League fantasy as well because he's just so attacking.
Yeah,
So yeah, him and Gakpo were probably like a couple of their better players.
yeah. No, I ended up having Gakpo at one point. Anyway, move on to a few comments. We got Thomas saying, "I went for Rick O'Shea as my cheap keeper." Yeah, and he was unlucky not to get more attacking returns. So, yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for Ricochet in the next World Cup game. We've also got Jamie saying, what's your views on Morocco's prospects for 2026 World Cup?" Matt, what do you reckon?
Yeah. You know what? Like, I think if they decide to stick with this expansion, because they're talking about expanding the World Cup to 48 teams. Currently, it's obviously 32. I think Morocco will then get back into it. It's always so hard with the African continent because there's so many good countries in there. It kind of changes every World Cup, I find. Like Senegal seem to have been in there for a while now, and we're seeing Cameroon, but like there's always changes within there. So like I think if they do expand it to 48 teams, then Morocco will find themselves back in there again. Like having a look at their squad, quite a lot of their players were born. I think 50% of their squad was born outside of Morocco, but they have Moroccan parents, so they've been trained in like Spain, Netherlands, Germany. So they end up, they're all pretty good footballers and stuff. And even the Moroccan-born ones are really good, but like they all get trained through European academies from a young age. So like, yeah, they'll probably be even better in the next World Cup. Like I think they'll qualify for sure. I don't think it was a one-off. Like they've got some real quality in there. So
Yeah, no, I was really impressed with Morocco, and you probably didn't really appreciate them until the knockouts because everyone was basically having a go at Belgium, and Belgium are no good, and Canada are terrible, and so you didn't really kind of, well, for me anyway, I didn't really appreciate them until the knockouts. But at the same time, I did fancy them to beat Spain, but I thought Portugal were going to get over the line. But great
same.
for them. Great for Africa. Great for the Arab world. So
really good.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice to see because I feel like, especially obviously English. So I feel like we get a bit stuck in our own kind of world of football. Like everything's the Premier League, and obviously it's the biggest league in the world. But it's just nice to see other places do well and even show how big football is out there and all around the world.
No, I agree. I think like Morocco showed that, and even Argentina, who don't have a huge amount of players from the Premier League. I know there's a few in there like Romero, Alvarez, but they have players like Fernandez, De Paul, in their side, and you look at it and think, there is other leagues outside the Premier League, and you start to realise, there's a lot of good footballers in these other leagues. But yeah, Morocco definitely showed that as well.
Yeah. Also got another comment from Thomas. Don't know why Depay is no longer taking free kicks. Don't think he took one, and he used to be the best at them in Europe.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, yeah, strange. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I just haven't heard about him for about 3 years. Depay.
Yeah,
So
he's normally quite good in the fantasy game. So like I do the UEFA Champions League fantasy, and he's quite good in that with Barca. But then in this, I think because he started injured, he didn't do well until I think it was that round of 16 game against USA. But yeah, they randomly took him off set pieces, which yeah, he's right. Because he's a good set piece taker. So yeah, that was interesting.
Also from Thomas, what are your thoughts on that? Basically, should there be a limit on home-born players? So teams like Wales have more non-Welsh births than Welsh ones. I can kick it off. So I think no. Basically, I think it all depends on where a player feels they're from. If they feel like they're Welsh or they feel like they're English, then I feel like they should be able to play for them, even if they weren't born in that country. Yeah, that's how I feel. But and
Yeah,
especially, sorry,
I was to say,
especially,
yeah, you're right. It's difficult when
yeah,
you've got, say, if you have parents that are from a different country, and then they raise you as someone from that country, then that's when it can get a little bit tricky.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because at home, you're from that country, so even though you're obviously born, but I think it's a person's. It should be the player's choice because it's just whatever they feel. I think.
Yeah,
But you
it's
have been
tricky.
seeing this quite a lot recently. So say like Jack Grealish and Declan Rice obviously played for the Irish youth team, and I was listening to a few things a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying they basically just did that to get games. So stuff like that, I'm not too sure. Not too sure I agree
Yeah,
on that on changing. I think that's a different story on changing your who you play for. I feel like no matter what level it is, that should be your choice, and you can't change. But yeah,
yeah. I think it should be. Yeah, it's a tough one, like because I think everyone sees it differently depending on how good their country is. Um, like England are quite fortunate that they've had a few. Like obviously, Sterling, John Barnes were born in Jamaica, but they've been quite fortunate that they're able to pick amongst a lot of English-born players, even if their heritage isn't always necessarily English. I guess they were born in England and they get trained through the English system. I think if like, I think like if the player is raised, say, like in Brazil and he's gone through the whole Brazil football education, and then like Diego Costa, and then Diego Costa goes through the whole Brazil education and then plays a couple of years in Spain, um, he therefore gets Spanish citizenship. See that sort of stuff is kind of like, well, he knows he's at the time he wasn't getting in the Brazil team. Spain had kind of took him on, and that's kind of like, is he Spanish or is he just wanting to play international football? And the same as Laporte from Man City, that is French, and then he did a couple of years in Spain with Seville, and then he kind of took it. So like, I think like that, it's an interesting one. I think, but then you've got someone like Özil who's got Turkish heritage, Turkish surname, chose to play for Germany, but then has kind of backtracked and said he wish he chose to play for Turkey through his parents. So like, there's some really like difficult situations, and I think like you said, it can really be like dependent on the player, but it does get a bit cheeky when you do get like a Laporte or a Diego Costa or like the Grealish or the Declan Rice or even the Welsh players where it's like they're not good enough to play for England and they're like, all right, I've got a great granddad or a granddad that is Welsh or whatever, and then so there's a fine line. I think like for me, I think it should be separated with either a like where you're trained and where you've learnt your footballing education, or B, if you're like, I don't know, there's an age limit, so maybe 21 years old, because 21 is probably a good parameter of, are you going to be playing, what league you're going to be playing in or what level you're going to play at. Like, not always, because you can end up being like developing later, but like 21-year-old might be like, they then say to you, all right, you've got to make your decision. Which country do you think you'll want to play for? Like, do you feel like you're, um, German, or do you feel Turkish? Like what, and then you make that choice then, and then you kind of can't go back on it, because otherwise you'll get that situation like Diego Costa, who's like 27, and then he's like, actually, Brazil aren't picking me, so I'm going to play for Spain.
yeah.
It is
No.
tricky. It's tricky.
But then it works the other way around as well. It's like, say if I don't know, say like you choose a country that is seen as the better footballing team, and then you can't get in that team, and then you swap to another team that you can get in the team. I think that's been happening a lot recently, like with countries that may not have as many good players. They're trying to see like
Poaching.
loopholes. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally is.
it's interesting. I definitely think there needs to be. Yeah, they could. Thing is though, like it's not really making. I don't think it's hard to say because like as England fans, like it doesn't really impact England because they're always going to produce players. But when you get countries like maybe a smaller nation that hasn't made a World Cup, and then they see someone like I don't know, Tunisia, who have got like 7 or 8 French-born players. I know they speak French and they, there's like the colonies and stuff, but like that's where maybe some of the smaller nations that want to make their first World Cup are probably like, we can't do this because we don't
Yeah,
have that, you know, ancestry
yeah,
there and stuff. It's a real difficult one. Like, yeah, like I can see both sides of the argument. But yeah, it's a good question. You could talk all night about that on
yeah.
its own
Literally.
video, right?
I was just thinking that. I'll shout out the last 2 comments, then I think we'll move on because we can literally do a whole show on
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking that.
So interesting views from Thomas again. I agree, but when you have a team with more non-nationals, it loses something. I feel like if you have brothers playing for different teams, it's a bit strange. Well, we get that from the Boateng brothers. They one
Boatengs.
plays for Germany, one plays for who did
It
he
was
play
Kevin
for? The other
Prince. I think he was like, I don't know if it could have been Ghana
Ghana,
or someone.
Ghana, yeah.
Could have been. And the Hakimi brothers as well. No, not the Hakimi brothers. The Altin top. There was one that played for Turkey and one that played for Germany.
Ah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a difficult one.
Strange, isn't it? It's like how can you feel different to someone that was brought up basically the same way as you in the same area? Well, we're assuming it's that, but
I can
yeah,
see
who
it in
knows?
terms of like, say for example, living in Australia now, but being born in England and doing, football and school and stuff there, but then coming out to Australia and then like I've got say like a brother or a sister, they might then hang out with more kind of locals a lot more, whereas I'll hang out with more some locals but expats as well. So then I start to surround myself still with English people, and I still feel English, whereas like one of my siblings might then not feel as English
Yeah,
anymore. So like I can maybe that, but then it's also just these players want caps, right? They want to play in World Cups.
yeah. So who would you play for?
Again, like this is where I can see your side of the argument where you were like, you can see why it's okay to happen because like if I wasn't good enough to play for England, because I'd want
Yeah,
to play for England because I was born there, and it's then it's obviously the main sport. You get to play in the Euros, and like it's a huge achievement to play for England. But if I wasn't good enough, I'd then try and play probably for Australia because I'd then feel more Australian than I'd have the chat like I could play for like other nations, Scotland or Ireland or like I think there's some Dutch in there somewhere. So there's ways of playing in some of these other countries, but like I'd probably then play for the next one that I feel closer to, and it would probably then be Australia.
really.
Um, yeah, it's a tricky one.
No. Yeah, see, for me, it's a little bit easier. So I'd choose England, but I could probably go.
Yeah.
I could probably go play for Cyprus now. I reckon. So it's not.
Cyprus. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Cyprus.
Yeah, they'd probably give you a cap now, actually.
Yeah, no, literally, they don't even sell their kits. I've been looking for about 15 years. They don't. The only ones you can buy are the match worn ones from the players.
That's mad.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. So yeah, Group B, England's group. So yeah, for England, I went with Kane and Trippier. So I'd say Trippier was probably a fail in the end. So
Yeah.
he only started the first game
Two.
or first 2 games. Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, I guess there was 2 clean sheets, so it's not the
Yeah.
worst, but
He did okay, but then like
yeah,
once he didn't get that third game, it was like, oh, we don't really need Trippier now, and he was so highly owned that yeah, but I'd say it was a pass. Like he passes because the games he played, he got 2 clean sheets.
yeah. And Kane, I think Kane, you probably say you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Is it 3 assists or 3 assists and 3 goals or something like that? So he's done pretty well. Obviously, the penalty miss not great, but yeah, there's probably better value out there. But who would you say would have been the best, or who has been the best who was best performer for England or best fantasy asset for England? Would you say?
See, like Kane, obviously was good in the first game where he got the couple of assists. USA game, didn't get anything. And then there was the game against Wales where I think he ended up on the assist as well. So, and then in the Senegal game, I think he got the goal. I don't know if he got an assist in that one as well, but like he was okay. I think from a fantasy because of his price, I'd probably say, yeah, like Richarlison and Messi, were better picks than a Kane for forwards. But for England, I'd say, yeah, unfortunately, Saka was probably one of the good picks from the first game and the game against Senegal. But then and he won the penalty against France as well. Pickford was okay for like the clean sheet against Senegal, and the clean sheets, those couple of clean sheets in the group. But yeah, I don't think there was anyone that you looked at from England and were like, this guy has just been brilliant for my team the whole way through. They weren't bad assets. They just, I don't know. I feel, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like, say, some of the Morocco defenders where there was a clean sheet the whole way up until last night.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I think if I had to choose one, it would be Saka,
Yeah.
or even obviously I don't think he was ever a fantasy option, but Rashford done pretty well whenever he played.
Yeah, he did actually.
But apart from that, no defender goals. Midfield, Bellingham 1 goal, Saka, maybe Foden. This is a bit of a weird one.
It was. I think the game got ruined when they said they were going to do points for tackles and points for key passes, and then they just didn't do it. So because of that, it ended up being quite like, for teams like England, you're just trying to get clean sheets and then, goals and assists from Kane and stuff. So yeah, a bit underwhelming for fantasy. I thought England. There wasn't anyone that I was like really excited about.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. With Iran, I did go for Taremi, if I said that right.
Yeah, he was good.
I'd say that's pretty good. 7 million, two goals. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, he was a bargain. That was a good pick. That was a very good pick.
But it's tough though with there's so many good forwards that it's kind of hard to get these kind of value options in. Because you've got Messi, Mbappe, Richarlison, Kane, Giroud. It's just kind of hard.
He was good.
Yeah. And yeah, USA. I did go for Pulisic. Probably, not the best option as they only scored 1 goal.
Yeah. Then he got. I think he got that goal, which was quite handy in the third group game. But I think again they didn't score enough. That George Ware's son, he was quite good. He got a couple of goals, and then I think the keeper did quite well, and the defense with the clean sheet against England, Iran. So yeah, Pulisic though, Pulisic was good for that third game when he was quite low owned and a lot of people were bringing him in. So makes sense. It wasn't the worst pick, but again, probably defense for USA.
Yeah, and again, you're probably not really using that midfield option on him.
Nah.
For Wales, I went for obviously Bale and Connor Roberts. I thought they'd be
Connor Roberts,
I thought they'd be a little bit more solid. I thought he'd get up and down, but I guess probably no Wales pick was a good pick.
They were terrible. Like they were just so bad. I think looking at their team, it felt like a League One team. Like looking at it, I was like, this is like a League One bottom end championship team. Like some of the players in there were just really, really poor. And then you're getting Gareth Bale at the end of his career. That's unfortunately he's just kicking about in the USA. He's not too fussed anymore. You could see it. His fitness just wasn't there.
Yeah. No, he got the one penalty, but that was it really. Yeah. All right, before we move on to Group C, just one comment on this group. So yeah, Saka agreed and Shaw second, probably best asset. We do have a couple more comments, but Not related to Group B, so we'll save them to the end. So we can skip through because we've got half an hour in and we've done 2 groups. So. Yeah, I've got a flight to Perth in 2 days, so we've got to be done by then. Yeah. So Group C, Argentina, Messi. Pretty good pick, I'd say.
Yeah, he's been unreal. Like, I know he's scored quite a few pens, but like he's been getting assists. He's been involved in everything. So like, yeah, Messi, great pick. Their defense has actually been pretty solid as well. Like, considering the Saudi Arabia game, they had the Poland clean sheet, the Mexico clean sheet. They had the clean sheet in the game, the semi-final. So yeah, I'd say like Otamendi's been quite a good pick. Molina, the defender, and also Alvarez has been like a really good pick the last couple of games. So
no, I'm gutted I didn't go Alvarez. I went for Giroud instead.
Same. Yeah, not happy.
I just thought Lautaro Martinez was going to come back in. To be honest, I didn't really think it was kind of Alvarez's spot. I thought he'd come back in and take it, but yeah, he's done well, and that's City's backup striker, so a little bit scary.
Yeah. Oh no, it's frustrating.
Yeah. So Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So,
good pick.
Got the winning goal against. Was it the winning goal?
I think it was.
They got the winning goal against Argentina. I think he ended up. Did he get? He got another goal as well against Mexico. So yeah, 2 goals, 4.5 million. But again, it's not an option with the amount of attacking threat that was out there. But yeah, like Saudi Arabia, I thought they'd go through. To be honest, a little bit disappointed after they got that win against Argentina. I thought they'd qualify. They only really needed to kind of draw the next 2 games or win one more, and that was it. But no good. Mexico, probably a disappointment.
Strong avoid. There wasn't anyone there was no one for Mexico. Not one player.
I know, and it's tough because you look at like they've got 4 points and you think, okay, that's not bad, but I don't know. I just feel like you expect a bit more from Mexico. Like, I just always think of them as like tough and
same,
like quick wingers, but no good really. Especially as a tackle points. I just picked him for tackle points, and that kind of got.
They got rid of it, didn't they?
Yeah.
He would have been a good pick if they did the key every 3 tackles or whatever it was supposed to be, and the key passes. He actually probably would have been a decent pick, but there wasn't really anyone from Mexico. I know there was the last game they won, but yeah, no good.
Yeah, no good. And yeah, Poland. I went for Matty Cash. I just didn't really trust Lewandowski in tournament, so I did go for Matty Cash. 2 clean sheets, and not bad.
Good for the price.
Yeah, I'd say good for the price, especially. I think when did they play Argentina? They played them in the first. No, not the first game.
Second game. Second one was Argentina, and then I think the third.
They played them. Played them in the third game, so you could. So that was perfect for the wild card if you wanted to play that. But yeah,
good pick. I think Lewandowski was actually quite good though.
Yeah, no, he got a few goals. So I think it was his first goal in a major tournament as well. I'm pretty sure.
It's mad,
in the World Cup at least. Yeah, just shows. So before we move on, a comment from Thomas again. I gambled on Mexico's Chavez the week he scored.
Good pick.
Wow, nice.
Good pick.
So Group D. So France, Mbappe, and Theo Hernandez. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
Good picks. Mbappe, he's had some of the biggest scores in the tournament, and then Hernandez probably paid everyone back with that goal last night. So
yeah, because they haven't kept a clean sheet until the semi. So
That's a good point. No, they haven't.
yeah,
I think you got it right though. Like 2 good picks because I think Hernandez might have had some more points somewhere, maybe with an assist or another goal. But yeah, good picks. I think who else has done well for them? Griezmann's had a couple of okay moments. Giroud's probably the other one. Giroud's probably the one that, if you Mbappe and Giroud, but overall, like, yeah, good picks.
Yeah. Thomas has just said that's the other Hernandez.
Yeah. He's not wrong. You've probably gone for the other one, right? Are they both the same price? I think they are. So, like, yeah.
I think one's 5 million. I think the Theo Hernandez is 5 million, but I reckon that's a typo, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, you've actually gone because they're brothers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the Bayern? That's the Bayern Munich one you've picked,
Bayern
but the
one,
one that scored the goals from Milan. All right, that's a good pickup.
I feel like I meant Theo Hernandez, to be honest, but
yeah, we'll say you
who
did.
knows? Yeah.
They look the same. I don't know if they're twins or something. They look so similar.
Yeah, they're definitely brothers. So they must be. I think Theo's a bit younger.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Australia. I just went for Matt Ryan. I just thought they'd be tough to beat, but it kind of surprised me. So I didn't really know much about the Socceroos. I just thought they'd be tough to beat, but I felt like they were good going forward. To be honest, more than anything.
Yeah, when they decided to attack, they actually were quite handy. Matt Ryan was a good pick though because you got 2 clean sheets out of him in the group.
Yeah.
That's true. So it wasn't the worst pick for 4.5 million. So if you had him on your bench and your first, say Australia, I don't know, was the second game and you had a goalie that conceded and you bring Ryan on against Tunisia or Denmark, you get clean sheet. So it was actually a good pick. But I think Goodwin was a good pick, Craig Goodwin, because he scored against France, scored against Argentina, and then someone who Thomas has said in the comments, Lecky, he did really well as well.
I don't know why you asked me. Really, really impressed, and I'm so happy they got as far as they did, and it was great. Hopefully, it kind of inspires the kids to kind of want to play football rather than the other sport they call footy.
The other ones, they got loads of other sports over here. Like they got about 20 different versions of football. So
move on. Probably a disappointment for me of the tournament is definitely Denmark. Myla, I feel like everyone went for Myla. I picked them as my dark horses as well. I thought they had a pretty easy group, to be honest. But not disappointed because Australia went through, but a little bit shocked about Denmark, especially that midfield. I thought Eriksen, Delaney, and Højbjerg pretty solid. Good wingers. Had Skovholm and Eriksen.
Good defense as well with Christensen and I think it's Kaiser. Is the captain? I don't know if he was playing, but
it's a tough one.
Disappointing. Was there anyone from Denmark that actually ended up doing anything? There was the goal from Christensen. Someone scored a header, but last year in the Euros they were really good. Obviously got to the semis against England, and Marla was just brilliant. It could have been so different for Denmark though, because if they didn't concede, I feel like that late goal against France just absolutely knocked the life out of them. And when they went 1-1 in that game, Marla actually got the ball and he cut inside and he shot and he got sort of headed. It was going in and it got headed away by the defender, and it was like that could have been a turning point for Denmark. But overall, the pick made sense, but it obviously didn't work out because Denmark were just gone.
Yeah, no good. Tunisia, I went for Kazri, which actually turned out okay. He got a few goals. He got a goal. Got the goal against France, and I'm pretty sure did he get another goal? Or was it? Oh no, he never got another goal. But we got the goal against France, so 4.5 million. I guess that's not too bad. I don't think they had many other options.
Decent. They had a couple of clean sheets, maybe defense, but really, if you had him in your midfield for 4.5 mil, and you got him in for when he scored that goal off your bench, yeah, good pick, good price.
Another comment from Thomas. So I think Giroud might be dropped for Benzema. I've heard about this, but I don't know how true is it. Is it true? Like, I feel like it's a lie. Like,
Yeah,
he can't be coming back, surely.
I've heard he's coming back, but I reckon it's more of a case of like bring him back, have him on the bench. If they
Yeah,
are desperate, for a goal, they can bring him on, try
yeah,
and poach him a goal. Or it's a case of if they're winning the game, they can bring him on for 5 minutes so he can play in the World Cup final and then, gets himself a medal. But
yeah,
I'd be so shocked if they just did something like that. I just don't think there's just not going to be any match fitness for Benzema. Like
no,
Giroud's been too good.
yeah. And there's no harm in having him on the bench. So it's like
No,
whatever it is, everyone's a sub, right? So there's no
exactly.
harm. Might as well put him on there. Group E, a very interesting group. So start off with Spain. I did go for Simon, goalkeeper. Yeah, not really. One clean sheet, pretty rubbish option. Spain were a weird one because I had none of their players in the first week. Obviously, they won 7-0. And then I bought them in. I bought Olmo in for a couple games.
Yeah,
Didn't
same.
do anything. So yeah, not disappointed again because I don't really care, but a bit surprised about Spain, especially after
Yeah,
that 7-0 win. It was a very weird group. Costa Rica were top at one point, and then Japan, then Germany, then obviously Spain and Japan end up going through. So very
yeah.
exciting
It
group.
was a weird one. I think Spain. What's his face? Alba was good. Jordi Alba, because he got the return in the first game, the clean sheet, the assist. Then he got the assist in the next game,
Yeah,
and he was actually okay. And then there was the game against Morocco, which I think was 0-0 anyway, up until it was kind of only pens. So like Jordi Alba was okay. I don't think Simon was the worst. For 5.5, like a couple of clean sheets. I think Jordi Alba and Olmo had one good game, but I did the same. I bring him in and he just didn't do anything when I bring him in. But yeah. Oh mate, your volume's gone for me. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
oh yeah, sorry, I muted
Oh,
myself.
you're back.
Very professional here, don't worry. Yeah, no, Costa Rica had Calvo, so he did get one clean sheet, but I don't even know if he played, to be honest. I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, I didn't
No, he
keep
played.
track enough. Did he play? All right, yeah,
Yeah, he
you take
played.
that for 4 million.
Yeah, one clean sheet. We'll move on swiftly, I reckon. And then Germany, Sane missed the first game. I actually had him in my team, but obviously, like being in Australia, I think the kickoff was about 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. So didn't get the chance to see him not be in the team. So he ended up just costing me a few points. But yeah, Germany again. Like Germany, there's a lot of things people saying like disappointed with Germany, but they did get 4 points to be fair. So it's not like they had a terrible group stage, but it was just that loss against Japan that really cost them.
Yeah, I think like Sane made sense. Like it was a good pick in terms of everyone expected a lot from him. And yeah, I think it was a tough one with Germany. Havertz did okay in the end. Like he got the goals. And there was that other guy, the striker, that got a couple of goals as well in the last game.
Yeah,
There's two. Him and the striker, Havertz and the striker actually did really well in the last game. And then other than that, there was the Spain
Volkrug or
game where
something.
that
His name.
striker scored. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was probably their best pick. Like, begins with F.
Yeah. So yeah, Thomas says, bit sad how Spain and Germany have fallen over the last 10 years, lacking a forward badly. Yeah.
He's right. Spain lost when they had Torres and David Villa, they were brilliant. And then Germany, obviously Goetze was in the squad, but he he was pretty good in 2014, wasn't he? So yeah, they are lacking in that area. It's been a while since Germany had a good forward.
Yeah. They're just, they need like Werner. I thought Werner was going to be it, but no good either.
And
I think
Muller,
he's doing better now. Muller, yeah.
Yeah, Muller did nothing.
And Japan. Were they? This was. I think I got this from you, to be honest, Mitoma.
Yeah.
But Japan, I feel like in terms of like fantasy, I don't know if Japan were the best team to choose from. I feel like he rotated quite a lot, the manager. But yeah, in terms of the tournament, great, got through group stage. Ended up doing pretty well.
Yeah, they were good. See, Matoma, I think like it was one of those picks because he'd shown some good bits of play for Brighton before the World Cup, and everyone was assuming he was going to play for Japan. But then what happened is he got a knock, I think, before the first game, and it kind of ruined his World Cup. So that comment didn't go so well. So that was a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Cool. So I'll just move on to the next group. Group F. So Belgium, terrible. They were so so bad. I remember what game was it? Was it against Canada? Canada first game, and they won it. But they were so bad. Like
they were poor.
like really bad. De Bruyne was misplacing passes. They just, I don't know. I know this is obviously easy to say now that it's come out that they all hate each other, but they just didn't seem a team.
Yeah, I think
almost like
Roberto Martinez is like, I know everyone loves Southgate and there's a lot of people like him, but like Martinez kind of reminds me of what could happen to Southgate in the next tournament, where he's had a few tournaments for Belgium now and he's done well. Like he got them third in 2018, did well in the Euros. They got to the semis, I think, of the Euros. I think he was there in Euro 2016 as well, and they got to the semis quarters against Wales, which was a shock. But like, I feel like this was one tournament too many for Roberto Martinez, and it showed because the players just looked exhausted. Everyone just, and you kind of get that feeling with it. Like, and De Bruyne was a huge letdown. Like, I get the pick, but he was a big letdown in this fantasy game. And Trossard as well. I think people thought he was going to play more minutes, and there really wasn't anyone from Belgium. Like Batshuayi, was it Batshuayi, the striker, had a couple of moments, but like
but even then, like
rubbish. Courtois penalty save was probably the clean sheet.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing is with Belgium in terms of like fantasy, because they were later on in the match day, it was kind of like it was because we were obviously doing that little budget hat where you take out Kane and then and then bring in a big hitter for like a 4 million midfielder. And I did it with De Bruyne twice, and is it
probably lost points.
Terrible. Yeah, I probably did. So it's shocking. It's hurtful. Canada's another weird one because I thought they looked good against Belgium, but probably Belgium were just terrible. They didn't score a goal. So
it was unlucky because he missed the penalty in the first game. Davies did. So if that had gone in, that pick would have looked like a masterstroke. But because he missed.
They did score. Yeah, they scored 2 goals.
They got a couple of. It must have been in the game against Croatia. They must have scored a couple of goals in that game then.
It scored. So was an own goal against Morocco, the only goal before the semis that Morocco conceded.
Yeah, okay.
And then Alphonso Davies scored against Croatia. So I guess, pretty good pick.
Yeah, if he got the penalty in the first game, and then he still got that other goal, you're looking at 2 goals from a defender. But in the game, he's a defender. He obviously plays quite far forward where he attacks. But it wasn't the worst pick on paper.
Yeah. Thomas is saying KDB was the punishment for the budget hacks. Yeah,
he's not wrong.
so true. So true. Don't mess with FIFA. I think is the moral yeah, Morocco, amazing tournament. Hakimi's probably a really good pick, but I guess you could have gone anyone in that back line. What did they end up with? 5 clean sheets? 4 clean sheets.
Phenomenal. The goalkeeper was one of the biggest picks that everyone was talking about. The goalkeeper, and then Roman Saiz from the one that plays for Wolves, I think did pretty well. And then Hakimi, he's always popular because he plays for PSG. I thought Ziyech was a really good pick as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, I had Ziyech since the Spain game. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, happy with that. Yeah, so yeah, the one we don't really see it in the Prem, but yeah, he's done great this tournament. Even then, Buffal looked pretty good. Yeah, I'm not too sure about goals and assists, but he looked good. Yeah,
he looked sharp. The only time Ziyech did it in the Prem was against us, against Spurs, when he whipped that goal in.
I know,
typical,
ridiculous. We make every team look good. Croatia, Garvadal, and Sosa. So good picks. pretty happy with that. Perisic could have been a good pick as well. He did get a goal in the group stage, if my memory's right. But Croatia, pretty happy with that. They're a bit of a weird one because you feel like they're defensive. They're really like defensive, or which they do have a good defense, but it's not being clean sheets every match day for them. I guess 3.5 billion for Sosa was the one.
Yeah, he was brilliant for his price. And Gvardiol, he was really good in defence. And then there was the striker, Kramaric, had a couple of games where he scored. He had that double. So yeah, Croatia, I think they only won one game in 90 minutes. And then the 2 games in the knockout stages were penalty shootouts anyway. They actually drew every single other game, which was pretty mad. And they got to the semis.
And I guess they play the third place playoff on, depends where you are, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday.
I wonder if they're even going to play like their best players. Like, be a lot of players trying to go back to their teams now, and like they're probably still want to finish third. I think Morocco. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I remember when England played Belgium in the third place in 2018 in England, and it was second string teams.
Yeah, it seems a bit pointless, but I guess some nations is a big deal. It should be a big deal to England, really.
Should have been. Yeah.
Thomas saying, mad how these two are playing again on Saturday. I'm back in Croatia. Right. Morocco's bubble has been popped.
Yeah, it could happen.
I kind of feel the same, to be honest. I feel like it's hard to. They'd kind of ride. I feel like they're just riding the wave and like that momentum, and now it's like, okay, back to reality. Well, not reality. France are a good team, world champions, but I don't know if they can pick themselves up again for that. Whereas Croatia, I feel like a little bit more experience. You got Modric, Perisic in there if they do play.
To kind of hopefully we get early team news. Oh, then again, you can wait till kickoff to make your transfers anyway if you want to, and do that.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be waiting because I'll be in WA, so
you should be able to be awake then.
Yeah, 11 o'clock kickoff, 11 p.m. So that's pretty good. Thomas saying Perisic is my captain on Saturday, hat-trick inbound. Yeah, I'm with you.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Last few minutes against France showed they lost Morocco. It's a bit harsh, I think, but so France are a good team. And last group, Brazil's group. So I went for Neymar, Richarlison. Yeah, pretty good picks. Disappointed though in Brazil. Yeah.
Richarlison, brilliant pick. I think a lot of people were talking about how good he is for Brazil, and it showed. And he obviously scored that unreal goal. He scored goals for them. Neymar had the injury, so it was kind of like we saw what he's capable of in that last game against Croatia. Yeah, that was a bit of a shame for Neymar, but yeah, Richarlison was a good pick, and I think their defenders were quite good in the group. Other than they kept 3 clean sheets. I know they
Yeah.
rotated in the last game, but they were pretty handy.
Yeah. I kind of wanted them to win it, to be honest. I feel like everyone's got a bit of kind of Brazil in them, kind of thing. They always wants Brazil to win. I don't know. It's just the first World Cup I remember, 2002. So getting hurt by Brazil and then them going on to win it. But, Serbia. Mitrovic, I went for. I think he did get a goal, but again, not the best. That group was actually a lot of goals in that group. So yeah,
a good group.
Serbia's games were 3-2 Switzerland against them, 3-3 against Cameroon, and then lost 2-0 against Brazil. But I did expect a bit more from Serbia, but I don't think the defense is any good really. Mitrovic did get a couple goals, so I guess it's not a bad pick, but
he did okay.
You're not really finding room for him in in this game. No. Switzerland, I went for Rodriguez. I just thought it'd be on penalties.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Switzerland again, not really much to comment on. They got 1 clean sheet, then they got through and got battered by
that's right.
Portugal.
Shaqiri was okay. Like Shaqiri come out with an assist against Portugal, and then I'm pretty sure he returned in both of the other games other than the Brazil one. So he actually did quite well. He's always good for Switzerland, though.
I know. It's like, I feel like, especially that Serbia game, there's more on it. Like, I feel like they always perform against kind of Serbia and Croatia, especially with like Xhaka. I think Xhaka and Shaqiri are like Albanian, so
yeah, they are.
Means
back on that topic that we were talking about earlier.
yeah, that's true. And Cameroon, at the point of doing this, they had no players on the game for some reason.
Because they hadn't updated the squad. Okay.
Yeah, I just went with a Goosey. But yeah, no good.
Did Cameroon beat Brazil? Did Cameroon beat Brazil?
They got the clean sheet against Brazil. So the reason I kind of picked Goosey was he was looking like he was going to play in midfield, which he did. We did against Brazil, where he got the clean sheet. But I guess 1 clean sheet, you're not going to pick him against Brazil, so it's not really an option.
No, I think it was Chupa Moting had quite a good game in the 3-3, and then it's tough one with Cameroon. Like they probably beat the hardest team in it because they managed to play him third, but then they still went out. So
no, Abu Bakr got a few goals as well, a couple goals.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's it. Is that the? Oh, there's one more group.
That was
the last group. I thought that was the last group. Group H, Portugal went for Ronaldo. I just thought he'd be angry and just want to show the world that we're all wrong, and I honestly thought he'd step up and kind of drag them to at least the kind of semis, quarters, finals. But it kind of did the opposite of that. Portugal did have a few options though. They had got a striker with a hat trick.
Gomez.
Gomez, yeah.
Was it Gomez? He got the hat trick. I think with Ronaldo, everyone just thought, he's going to be annoyed, he's going to be agitated, and I sort of thought the same. And then I thought about it again, and I was like, he had no match fitness, and obviously he's very he looks very fit and athletic and stuff, but he's 38 years old. I think a lot of people were thinking about Ronaldo because even Ronaldo 4 years ago was capable of taking game, doing things on his own, but now it's a different Ronaldo. He's the sort of Ronaldo that needs a run of games, and yeah, from a fantasy perspective, he was disappointing. Like, he got the pen, but yeah, other than that, there was games he didn't start, and yeah, I think even the Portugal defense was like, 'cause you got Costa in there as well, the goalkeeper. The defense was disappointing, like Cancelo and that type of thing. Except Dallo was quite good in
Yeah,
one of
and
the knockouts.
Guerrero got a
Guerrero.
goal. Yeah. Yeah, but same to be honest. I thought this group was going to be boring.
Mm,
Like I thought it was going to be nil-nils all round. Especially I thought Uruguay were a tough defense. I thought Korea could be solid, Ghana could be solid,
mm.
but it was kind of the opposite. You had Portugal, Ghana 3-2, 3 goals in the Korea Portugal game. Um, so you had goals in it, and not many clean sheets.
Yeah, it was
Um,
decent.
yeah, another player, Bruno Hernandez, done pretty well. Started off with 2 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah,
Um, be the only good midfielder in the game, like I'd say. There wasn't many options.
nah, he was good.
Yeah. Speaking of Portugal, how do you think the World Cup has affected Ronaldo's legacy in comparison to Messi's?
Oh yeah, everyone's got their opinion, right? For me, like I've always like both players are brilliant. But I've always loved Messi for the way he plays, and like, yeah, just watching him, it's always just like feels like you're watching someone play on a PlayStation, and where they're like holding, just skinning
Yeah.
everyone with one player. It's like when you play like FIFA or whatever, and you're playing on like amateur mode, and then you just like run around the players. That's what watching Messi has always felt like especially in his younger days. So I've always been sort of love Messi, but I've always liked Ronaldo too. Um, but I feel like
Mm.
Ronaldo's legacy will always be such high regard. I don't think it will affect Ronaldo's legacy as much, but in comparison to Messi, I think it might. Those people that, because you get different types of Ronaldo and Messi fans. You get Ronaldo fans just because they're Man United, maybe Real Madrid. Then you get Ronaldo fans because they might not see much of Messi in La Liga or the Champions League or whatever, and they're kind of thinking, you know, Ronaldo's the one I'm used to seeing, so I think Ronaldo's the better pick. And I think a few of those types of fans that are now watching Messi, they might then become Messi, convert themselves to sort of Messi fans, and then
Mm.
Ronaldo's legacy could then, still be amazing. But compared to Messi's, I think there'll be a lot more people pushing to Messi because he wins a World Cup. Because this is what people are like these days. Like, they love stats, they love the trophies, but like the reality is, Messi and Ronaldo are probably as good as they are because they were footballers in, like Ronaldo when he was at Lisbon, and then Messi playing in Argentina probably helped them become the footballers they are. But if they were still as good as they are at football and ended up playing for like Bosnia or someone, it's kind of like, well, they're not going to win. Like, likely chance of them winning a World Cup so low that it's just like, I don't know if a World Cup defines you being the best player. But yeah, I do think in terms of the way everyone sees football now and social media and the whole GOAT debate, Messi winning the World Cup on Sunday will turn a lot of people that were Ronaldo fans to Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think it will affect his legacy with the
Yeah.
the football social media generation.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, for me, I think I think it's just a bit weird, this debate. To be honest,
It
I
is.
feel like I feel like people go over the top. Like, how can
Yeah,
you like one player so much? I don't get it. Like, I really
yeah.
don't get it. But like I like, obviously I prefer Messi.
Mm.
I'm not. I wouldn't say like, I don't know. I feel like people like treat them both like they're their own team almost.
Yeah. I've even
Like,
been caught up in it before, though, the thing, right? Because, like, I love watching Messi so much. And I think it's because when I would play football and seeing like he's left-footed as well, and like I just love it. So like I would get so caught up in it, and a lot of the time because I used to watch the Barca Arsenal games in the Champions League, and Messi
Yeah,
would score like
same.
4 goals, 3 goals, and I just loved him. But Ronaldo
Yeah,
would do the same for Man United, and
yeah,
and whatnot. But like I guess like I don't know what it is. Even I've been getting caught up in it. Like England, Argentina, are not supposed to like each other, but I'm like, I'm all on Messi now. I'm just like I don't know what it is. I think it's a bit of like Messi fever or something. Like it's just
yeah,
like maybe I don't know. Maybe because like there's no like Spurs aren't on, so I'm just getting sucked into. I need something just to like enjoy, and now I'm like, yeah, come on, Messi, like let's do this. You're like my goat and stuff. I'm getting a bit obsessed with it, which
yeah.
is weird because I've never been someone just to like obsess over a player. It is weird, isn't it? It is weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. But I think you're right though. I think it's the World
Mm,
Cup fever. I feel like when it's done, it will just be, oh look, like PSG haven't won the Champions League again, and Messi's there, or
yeah,
um, like it'll just go back. I think, but I think it's tough. It's tougher for people that support a Prem team or that's not Man United
mm,
to even have Ronaldo as the GOAT. Like for me, if he's played for a team that's not Spurs, then like I don't really want to associate him with my favorite ever player.
yeah. I agree. I think
Kind of thing.
like yeah, I'm the same. Like when you pick your favorite players, you normally pick them based on the club you support. Um, You are right, though. It's strange. I've been getting really into it in the last week with the whole Messi stuff because I've always liked him, but like I've been probably been in yeah this ridiculous like Messi goat phase in the last week, and I'm just like yeah, but maybe because there's just nothing else going on in the football world
Yeah,
right now because this is it. This is it. It's the World Cup, right? Like you said. So
yeah. But I feel like it's like we're all thinking like this will complete football. Like Messi will complete football if he wins this. Like he's won
oh yeah,
everything. He's won 7 Ballon d'Ors. He's won the Champions League. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
He's done everything. This is kind of the end. He's won the Copa America. This is kind of
yeah,
the end. It's like he's completed it, sort of thing.
yeah. He's
I think
nuts.
that's
He's
maybe,
nuts.
yeah. No, he like he is the best player that I've ever seen. I've ever watched on TV. I haven't seen him live, but I've seen Ronaldo live. But I didn't have that. I have more probably wowness of Messi on the TV than Ronaldo live, to be honest. And I've seen him
Yeah,
score hat tricks. Um,
yeah. I think
but
Messi. Like for how long he's done it. But so's Ronaldo. I think that's what Paul
yeah,
like. I've seen there's a comment that coming about R9, and I love R9. R9 is like he's like my Ronaldo. He's like the Ronaldo I love. Like I loved him, and but I just think, and I love Ronaldo as in R9. But I just think now we've got to like this stage of Ronaldo and Messi playing for like it's been like 17 years or whatever it's been of just as much as I love R9, just didn't have that. His career was kind of done after the 2002 World Cup in a way. Oh no, he had those few years at Madrid, but like kind of just dipped off with his injuries, which was such a shame because who knows? Like he could have ended up having like his legacy could have been ridiculous as well.
yeah.
But that's yeah,
I
he
feel
was
like no
phenomenal
one's had
too.
that. No one's had that longevity, really. Um,
No,
like you had, like I don't know. I'm just think of like growing up. You had like Ronaldinho. Henri was. I thought Henri was the best player on like maybe 1 year while I was growing up over Ronaldinho. Not obviously not favorite player because he gave me nightmares as a kid. But in terms of like the best player, definitely. Um, but like that was only for like 2 year periods. R9.
Zidane did it for a while. I think Zidane was quite
Um,
consistent from like that mid '90s to all the way until 2006.
yeah,
But yeah, Ronaldo and Messi have just been it's been ridiculous and like yeah, that debate again like it's the Twitter accounts, the YouTube comments, the videos, everything, the nicknames for each player like the nonsense that goes on between people that prefer Ronaldo and prefer Messi. It's like it's insane. It's bigger than some football rivalries. That's how ridiculous it is.
Yeah. No, it literally is, and I kind of get it though. I've just said I don't get it, but I get I don't get it, but that's because I've grown up with like a football stadium 2 minutes walk from me, or I can go to my local team and they're in the Premier League. Like if I didn't have that, if I didn't have the Premier League on my doorstep and I didn't have the kind of some of the best players in the world on my doorstep, then maybe I would pick one player and idolize them and like follow anything they do. It's if you don't have that like affinity with a team, whether that be living across the world and you see I don't know top 100 Spurs goals and then that makes you fall in love with the team, or they come to a tour in Australia and then you love that team. But if you don't have any exposure, sort of thing, and then you have to go off like social media and players really.
And what makes you fall in love with football? And there's people out there like they love say Neymar, and because they love watching Neymar, then that's why they're interested in football. And then they, it's kind of like people that follow Michael Jordan, I guess. Like they'd follow Michael Jordan because he was this icon, and like, and so I get it, and it's just a different way of getting into football, right? Because like you said, not everyone gets into it through a club. They watch a certain player and they gravitate towards that player. But
you know what? That's actually interesting. I did a dissertation on. I studied marketing, but I somehow managed to spin football in that. So I did a dissertation on the evolution of a football fan through marketing, and I was basically looking at this, like how do people start to fall in love with football? And it was okay. A parent supported it. That's your team. You live local. That's your team. But there was so many like even now we just think of social media and we think of like fans across the world supporting a Premier League team. You're like, oh, how do you get that? But back in like the day, back in the whatever 80s, 70s, people had like magazines and they were flipping, and there was no like European games on the TV. You would flip through magazines and you'd see these like European players playing for Real Madrid, and you'd be like, oh wow, like that's a Real Madrid kit or that's a Juventus kit. So it's like it's always happened. It's just social media makes it easier now, and the internet and TV makes it easier to kind of follow sport all over the world. So it's not like a new thing. It's just
been going on for a long time, like a long time.
Yeah.
It's just these two are just been ridiculous.
Yeah. Cool. Thomas just saying if Haaland wins the Prem 5 years in a row, then wins the Liga 5 years in a row, we can't not rate him because he plays for a lesser nation. Yeah. That's another.
He's not wrong. I do think though, like watching Messi play football, he's just unbelievable. Haaland's brilliant and unreal, but like I feel like the way Messi plays is like there's just so much he can do with the ball. Same as Ronaldo. That's a lot of other players can't do. Like I feel like prime Messi, you could literally get him to dribble around like 6 players, score with either foot. Could still score headers, same as Ronaldo. Whereas as much as I love Haaland, this stuff's a whole different debate. We might need a YouTube video just to do Ronaldo versus Messi and the others, and there's so much that can go into it, but it's all just an opinion at the end of the day, right?
No, it's so true. It's so true. Even it's so true. Like what you're saying about Messi, it's like he is unbelievable. Like it's like everyone else on the pitch is wearing jeans. That's how it like feels like. You know what I mean? They're like it's like they're stuck there, and he's just he's like the year 11
playing football.
No, he's like the year 11 against the year 7s. That's what it feels like every time he plays. Thomas,
he's right. 9 did.
But I remember Les Ferdinand doing that as well. So
Yeah. I
Just take it around the
think as
keeper.
well, like when you were saying then about the players wearing jeans, like
Yeah.
it's almost like the Messi's basically the kid at school or the kid at five-a-side. So you're playing five-a-side, right? And sometimes you'll play a team and they've got this one player who no one can get the ball off, and it's like this is like you just can't. And then you get the big bully to try and like take him out, and they still can't take him out, and it's just like this guy is ridiculous. And like Messi's like that, but R9 was like that. I loved R9, and like Ronaldo at his time, and that was just phenomenal. It's just a shame about his injuries, but he's a World Cup legend, Ronaldo.
Yeah. No, he is. That whole Brazil team is for me like that. For me, when I think of like legends, I think of the AC Milan team with like Seedorf. That reminds me of Pez. That's why. But,
Pez the Operator. I love that game.
Yeah. And then the Brazil 2002 team. Gattuso, Seedorf, Cafu.
Carlos.
But we still got Carlos. We still got two teams, but we've got three teams. Ghana. I think we just skipped these. Sorry, Uruguay.
Well, Ghana. There was one player, Kudus, who plays for Ajax.
Yeah,
and he did really well, and he's been really good in Champions League fantasy. So he was probably the one from Ghana. But then, Uruguay and career. Who was actually good from Uruguay? Like you were right though. That midfielder got 2 goals, didn't he, in the last game?
In the last game,
yeah.
And I had him at the beginning, but then I think I don't know who suggested him, but he did get 2 goals. Uruguay
was a guy Dan on my podcast spoke about him.
Okay, that's why I've heard it. Yeah,
maybe so. I did see a few people suggested him, but and Roche was good, 4 million as well.
Yeah. In career, went for Huang because he was down as a midfielder. So I was like, okay, he's definitely a striker or a winger at least. So I thought, it'd be a good option. But it was that number 9. That was it Gusang?
I think that was it. Yeah.
Cho Gusang. He done really well, and apparently he gained like millions and millions of Instagram followers from getting a couple goals at the World Cup. So,
good, so good.
Yeah, no, good. I think that's it. We've got a couple more comments from Thomas. Sad as it was, Darwin failed. So frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a big World Cup. I was hyping him up because I just thought Uruguay were going to do well, but nah.
Yeah.
No good.
No good. And their team's not bad. Like, you've got Godin. Good to see Godin still playing well. I'm guessing he means Godin or Foden.
Yeah, I think he means Godin. The Uruguayan Foden. Yeah, Godin. Yeah. They had some really good players, Uruguay, in that squad. And, like, a lot of teams went out on 4 points.
Yeah. So I'm guessing Thomas got him for his 2 goals.
Oh, he did well.
Yeah, he's smashing it. He's top of the FPL World Cup Fantasy League, which is I'm 4th, so it's not that great a competition in there. So
I think I don't even think. To be honest, I've not done that well at this World Cup game. I'll have to check your league, but he must be smashing it if he's picked players like that. Like that's just ridiculous.
No, he's smashing it. Yeah, he tweeted me saying, I think I've won it, and it was about 100 points clear.
Oh my god! Let's have a look. He must be. What's your league called? Is it FPL Roo?
Yeah,
I mustn't be in it. I swear I joined it.
Maybe I have a look. I'm fourth in it, and I'm literally like nearly last in every other league.
It's probably too late to join then. Oh yeah, so because you're in my league 3-3-1. To be fair, I'm not doing much better than you. I'm like 4 points ahead. And there's I thought I was in your league. Who knows? I probably was in it, but FIFA World Cup fantasy game just who knows what
Yeah.
the hell's going on with that game? I don't even know if the points are added up correctly. You just
Yeah.
don't know with that game.
No. Well, he's on a 415 points, so I think he's
Oh,
about
wow.
100th in the world,
Yeah,
114th in the world.
he's killing it. He'd be winning my
Smashing it.
league.
Yeah. Hopefully, he can win it all, and he can come on air and we can do an interview on.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. Hope he
Good.
wins it. He's just gonna have to just captain someone random in the final, but everyone's gonna go Messi or Mbappe. But
Yeah.
he's gonna have to back himself if he wants to win the whole comp. Just find a gem.
Yeah. Hopefully, like you said, Perisic hat trick.
Sorry, I did say that. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I think that's it. Thanks everyone that's tuned in and joined in the comments. Leaving questions. It's been a good chat. Definitely feel like we should do just a ramble stream.
Yeah.
So Perisic for a hat trick, but 55 points off the top. So it's tough. Yeah, that's tough. So yeah, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you, Matt?
Oh yeah. So if you want to find any of my content, mine is at FPL Matt Day. So just FPL and then Matt MATT and then DAY. If you follow FPL Roo, then you'll probably see me on some of his comments anyway. So you'll see me on there. So you can find me on there as well. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as well. I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok too. Yeah, that's the one, the handle at the bottom. So come along. And I think me and FPL Roo will probably do a few more videos as the season goes on and stuff as well on each other's channels. So come check it out. Just lots of FPL stuff and that type of thing. So but I think the football ramble is probably a good idea because there's so many different conversations that you can have just from chatting about fantasy football.
Yeah, no, literally, and even just football in general, like it kind of all links in the end. So just to finish off, who do you reckon who's your winner and top goal scorer?
Look, I'm going to back Argentina because I said at the start of the comp. So when I did the list of Golden Boot team to win it, dark horses and stuff, Argentina was my winner. So I'll back them. I do think France, they've had a pretty good run of teams and like they've barely got out of second gear. Like they're just cruising along. But I back Argentina because I backed them from the start. Tough game. Golden Boot. I've actually got a bet on Messi and I need him to win it. So I'm going to back Messi to score the winning goal, Argentina to win 1-0. I win my Golden Boot bet. Argentina win the World Cup. So I'll back them, but it's so hard. France are just the squad's ridiculous, so it's hard to back against them. But I'll just do it because I said at the start I thought they'd win it. So what are you thinking?
Fair enough. I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't really like to think with football. I know it sounds weird, but I like to have some emotion in it. So I'm going for Tottenham to win the World Cup back to back. Hugo Lloris to lift it, and I think I feel like Mbappe will get the goal. Mbappe or even Giroud to go level. It could be a shout. One more goal.
It's got that feel to it, actually. Mbappe, like he's had such a good comp and a really good World Cup. But it's a good point. Like, Lloris getting a second World Cup, will be huge for him. And then on the flip side, Romero will get a World Cup, but doesn't obviously get injured a lot for Spurs. But it'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice. I think for football, like you said earlier, for Messi and football and his legacy, it would be a really good sort of ending for him, and he could probably even just retire after that game if they win it and just say, you know what, I'm done.
No, he's literally completed football, and to be honest, I don't mind either way. Either like Romero or Lloris again. Like it would be nice to see Messi win it, really. And Argentina fans have been great. It looks like
incredible.
I'll be happy for them. So I don't mind either way. I'm just glad I can be able to watch it at a reasonable time. To be honest, so
that's done well, and you didn't have to find somewhere to watch England play.
That's true. Every cloud. Yeah, but yeah. So if you're watching this at a later time, make sure you leave a comment. And sorry, I just got to show this comment. Like Argentina, like the Millwall of football, world football. So true. If
They
only
seem to be the
Millwall had
Millwall of world
Messi.
football after the Dutch game. Everyone was fuming with them.
Yeah, but they do annoy a lot of people. So that is kind of nice to see. At the same
It's
time,
good. It's what makes it's good to see some passion in players these days, and some players that just they just go for it every single game. It's been good to watch. I like it.
And it's good to see Messi get a bit angry. To be honest, it's like
About time.
Yeah, it's like I compare it to like Anthony Joshua, where
in boxing.
like so he was very like not PC, but very like media trained and said all the right things. But then at the same time, like he said, he's like from the streets. He used to sell stuff that you can't sell, and like I just wanted to like see that in him. I just wanted to be like him to like, yeah, I'm gonna knock you out, or I'm gonna destroy you, like, or something like that. But you never really got that from him.
Like a robot.
Yeah, he was a robot. He was like a media trained robot. But yeah, so it's good to see Messi come out a bit of anger, a bit of passion. And yeah, I don't mind who wins it really. I think we'll end it there. So cheers for coming on. Sorry, it's been a long one.
That's been good. Love it. It was good to come on. It was good to look at some of the picks that you made. Some good, some not so good. But...
yeah. Yeah, most not so good, I reckon.
That was good.
Yeah, but if you're watching this after us gone live, make sure you leave a comment. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Who's going to get the Golden Boot? And if you are playing FPL, I will be doing more FPL videos, and I've created a second chance league. So your score basically starts again from game week 17, and there'll be loads of people in there playing. So we'll see. We'll see who wins it. And FPL is my bread and butter, so there's no way I'm finishing mid-table in that. I'm in it to win it, so yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, we'll catch you soon. Cheers, Matt.
Thanks, everyone.